to another edition of the Empathic Designer podcast. I'm your host Vaidesh Viral. So today we're going to have a bit of a show and tell episode on one of my favorite topics, audio. So as L&D professionals, and especially in this lockdown period, it is a challenge for us to really reach out to a media development team or even a studio for that matter for getting some professional audio recorded. And like I always say, every crisis brings an opportunity, and this is a very good opportunity for you to really step up your game in the L&D space and really make an effort to produce your own audio for your e-learning assets. And that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about today. So I'm going to be taking you through some of the basics in terms of setting up your audio for your home purpose. So this is going to be a very high level kind of an episode where I'm just going to show you how audio works in general and the kind of gear, the setup that I use. So I'm going to be talking about that, and if you have any questions on any of this, or if you need further clarification on any of these topics, do go ahead and post them in the comment section below, and I'll be glad to have a conversation with you. So one of the first things that really come to your mind when we think about audio is the microphone, and I'm sure you do realize by now that you really can't use the microphone that comes inbuilt in your laptop or your PC, or the headphones that come with your phone are definitely not sufficient to make professional audio. So we need professional microphones, or at least semi-professional microphones, to produce good quality audio. So when it comes to setting up microphones at home, there are three types of microphones that you really can use. You can use a USB microphone, you can use a dynamic microphone, or you can go with a condenser microphone. So before we go into the microphones, we need to understand a little bit in terms of how audio really works. So what basically a microphone does is it picks up the sound that comes from you. It converts that into an analog signal, which is further converted into a digital signal that can be recognized by the computer. So that's how the process really works. So a microphone plays the role of picking up your sound and converting that into an analog signal. So that is what a microphone is for. It's basically a replica of how your ear functions. So it basically gathers the sound information, it gathers the vibrations in the air and converts that into a signal. It's an analog signal. So this is what a microphone does. So when you look at a USB microphone, what it really does is the microphone has a capsule below it which converts this analog signal into a digital signal, and this processed signal is transferred to your laptop or your computer through the USB port. So this is one type. So these microphones are relatively cheaper and it's much easier to use. You just have to it's just a plug and play where you just have to connect it to your laptop or your PC, go to your audio settings, select this microphone and get started. The other type of microphone is the dynamic microphone. So a dynamic microphone is one which connects to your PC or a laptop through an interface. So a dynamic microphone and a condenser microphone for that matter play the role of converting your voice, your sound, into an analog signal, and that's all they do. They don't do the conversion, the analog to digital conversion within the microphone. So the advantage of using a dynamic or a condenser microphone is that they are more specialized instruments and the audio quality is going to be definitely far better than a USB microphone. I'm not saying that USB microphones are bad for doing professional quality audio, but dynamic and condenser microphones really take things up to the next level. So as far as my work is concerned, I'm using a dynamic microphone, and I'm going to tell you why I do that. So before I do that, let me show you the microphone that I use. So this is a microphone that I use. This is the Sennheiser E835, and you can see that it connects. It has these three prongs over here. So this is known as an XLR port. So this connects to my interface through an XLR cable. An XLR cable looks like this. So this is an XLR cable. So you have, as you can see here, it has the male and female ports. So the female port kind of connects over here like this. So this is how it connects. And in order to convert this analog signal into a digital signal, you will need an audio interface. So this is the audio interface I use. There are a lot of brands and you get it at a lot of different price points. This is one of the most popular audio interfaces that are available in the market right now. This is called the Focusrite Scarlett, if you can see this. This is the Focusrite Scarlett, and it has a multitude of functions. I'm going to be talking about all of this. So this device, basically what it does, it has two functions. One, it converts your analog signal from the microphone into a digital signal that's going to go into the computer. And number two, this also has another function called a preamp. So basically what it's going to be doing is it's going to intake your analog signal and it is going to add gain to it. So it's going to improve the volume and send this as a signal to your machine. And when it comes to preamp, that's one of the advantages with a sound card like this, is that this preamp is of very high quality, and when it adds gain, it ensures that you don't lose out on the audio quality that is captured by a microphone. So before I go into this particular box, you may have a question as to okay, so you're using a Sennheiser E835. Is this the best mic around? Can I use a different mic? Well, you would have seen a lot of comparison videos of different mics on YouTube. I mean, you can just hit microphone comparisons and you'll have like 1,000 videos that pop in, giving you a lot of opinions and tests and things like that. But when it comes to microphone, it is really an individual thing, because the way in which you should choose a microphone is really dependent on the tone of your voice. So you need to find out which microphone blends well with your voice, and in order to do this, you'll have to go to a store and you can test a bunch of microphones over there. A lot of music stores allow that. They have sample microphones that are available. You can test those and pick up the one that really works for you. So this really worked for me, and that's why I have it. So this is a dynamic microphone. So the third type of microphone that I'm not showing you here right now is a condenser microphone. So a condenser microphone is a little different, that it has what is called a condenser coil, and it's a little more sensitive and obviously a little more pricey at that. It requires additional power. So this mic doesn't require any additional power, so you just have to connect it to your sound card and it's going to work fine, whereas your condenser microphone is going to require additional powers, and that's called phantom power or 48V. I'll come to that when I'm going to talk about this particular box. Dynamic microphones are designed to cut off any environmental sounds or any external noises that happen around it and only pick up the sound that's going straight into the microphone. That's one of the reasons why when you talk into a condenser, when you talk into a dynamic microphone, you need to keep it a little close. And this really works for me because I work from my home, and there's a lot of ambient noise that's happening out there, and this microphone really does a good job in cutting some of that noise. And another important accessory before I go into this one over here, another important accessory that you might want to have for your microphone in order to make sure that you produce good quality audio is a wind filter. So it's this one over here. So you can just pop it up on the microphone this way. So the reason why we use a wind filter is to make sure that you don't have your wind when you talk. You produce some air, so we don't want that air to interfere in the tonal quality of your voice. And when you speak, you will be speaking some plosive sounds like pa, ta, ta, and things like that. So that will sound very odd if you do that, if you speak those directly into a microphone. So if you have a filter like this, it's going to be of real help. Or you can even get a windscreen or a click pop filter that also really works. But since I was on a budget, this really worked for me. I got this for like I got a pack of 10 of these for like for around 400 rupees. So I felt that was a good deal. So then this particular one, I've been using it for the past 6 months, and it's doing a real good job. So that's about it. And when we talk about condenser microphones, they produce amazing voice quality. They're the best, but the only thing is they also pick up a lot of ambient noise, and they're really sensitive, and they're of course a bit more pricey compared to the other two microphones that I just told. So I guess that's one of the reasons why I'm using this particular microphone for the moment. So let's go into the audio interface right now. So as I said, we need to convert the analog signal from the microphone into a digital signal that can go into my laptop, and this particular box is going to do that. So here you can see that I have a port over here. This is the XLR port where the microphone is going to be plugged in. It goes in this way like this. So this is how you plug in your microphone. So there are other features in this. So here you can see that there is a knob over here. This is a volume gain knob, so you can adjust the gain of the microphone over here. And we have another port over here. So this is an instrument port, so you can use this for plugging in a guitar or any other electric instrument that you want to use. You can plug it in over here, and you can use this knob for adjusting the gain of that particular instrument. And like I was talking about condenser microphones, I was telling that it needs an additional power called phantom power or 48V. So you can see this button over here. So this is the phantom power button. So if you're connecting a condenser microphone to this, you need to press this button to enable the phantom power, so that it gets that additional power for the condenser within the microphone to really work. And another advantage, and one of my favorite features in this particular box, is you can do live monitoring. So this is the port for plugging in your monitor, and this is for adjusting the monitor volume, and you have an on-off switch for the live monitor as well. So what is live monitoring? So live monitoring is something where you can get to listen to what you are talking into the microphone live without any delay or any latency. So what this particular function does is, before sending it to your PC, before converting it into a digital signal, it sends a copy of the signal to this port, which can be heard with using a headphones. So again, when it comes to monitoring, we typically find people using something like this. So you might have seen people wearing this when they record audio and stuff like that. So this is not your typical headphone, because the reason why we don't use a typical headphone is because a headphone is designed to enhance and to augment sound, and it basically adds its own flavor. So that's the reason why when you listen to different headphones like an Apple headphone or a Sony headphone, the sound feels quite different, because they add a layer of color to that sound or to enhance that sound. So if you're going to be using headphones, you won't be able to really get what exactly the sound is that you're recording, and that's going to have an impact when it comes to really editing your sound. And this is what I use. So this is a studio monitor. So the one that I use is from a brand called Audio Technica, and this kind of plugs in. So this is a wired studio monitor. It plugs in. So this has a 1/4 inch pin. So you can see that's a slightly larger pin. So this goes in directly into this port over here, the studio monitor over here. So you can use this. So you may have a question as to whether you can use this particular studio monitor for stuff that you record on a phone or on a device that doesn't have this particular port, this 1/4 inch port. Yes, you can. This port, at least in this particular headset, is removable. So if you remove this 1/4 inch adapter, you have your standard audio jack, the 3.5mm jack. So you can plug this into your regular device. So let me just put this back on. Okay, so moving on. So this is basically the kind of gear that I use for my home recording purpose. So this basically requires a stationary setup, because there are a lot of moving parts to this, and you need to carry a lot of stuff. So I have another setup that I use if I'm on the move. Suppose if I have to go out someplace and I'll have to record a particular interview with one of my clients, or if my client is going to give a voiceover at their place, and if I have to go and record that and still make it a professional quality audio, I have another device over here that I use. So this is the Zoom H6 recorder. So this is a semi-professional recorder that I use. So let me do a quick demo of that for you. So this is like my go-to device. So whatever I showed you right here, all of this is in this box, right? And that too in a single device. So I'm going to show you how that really looks like. Just open that up for you. Okay, so this is my Zoom H6 recorder. So this recorder has 4 XLR ports, 2 on either side. So if you have XLR microphones that at the side, or if you wish to carry your XLR microphones, I mean microphones like this, you can do that, and this microphone plugs in into this device as well. So as you can see, I can just plug it in here. So you can connect 4 such microphones. So if you're going to conduct an interview with 2-3 people, and if you have access to these kind of microphones on site, you can definitely use them. Or if you are looking at a more portable option, like you want to carry everything inside this box, you have an option for that as well. This particular recorder comes with 2 microphones that fit on top over here. So let me just show you those. So you have 2 microphones here like this. So these 2 microphones are condenser microphones. So they are very sensitive, and they can pick up a lot of noise. So I'm going to show you what the difference is. So this microphone is again very, very simple. It's just a plug and play. You just pick it up and pop it on. So the microphone is ready, and you have you can adjust the gain of the microphone here using this knob, and you have a monitor over here. This is a color display, and this display kind of shows you the volume levels, the decibel levels, just to make sure that you don't have any of that clipping or any messy stuff happening to your audio, and you can really control the kind of input that you're giving to this particular device. And this is called an XY condenser microphone. This is a 90-degree, 120-degree microphone, as you can see over here. So what this microphone does is you can use this really for conducting interviews. So you can just have it in the middle like twice, and you have one microphone facing the person who I'm interviewing, and you have the other microphone facing me. So we can just do a conversation like this. Or if you have a group of people, if you have like 3-4 people around the table, and it's going to be like a kind of a discussion that you're going to be having with them, you can pop this out and pop this one right in. Just remove that clip. Yeah. So this is another microphone. So it kind of picks up the sound from around the room. So this really works when you're going to be talking to a group of people. So this records high quality audio, and it produces audio in wave format, and you can also set the kind of audio quality that you want, and this records very good quality audio. And as always, you have a headphone jack over here for monitoring. You can store data using an SD memory card. So I've got my SD card in here. This is the slot, and on the other side you have your menu and the rocker for navigating. So you have, the interface is pretty simple. So you have a record button, you have a play, pause, stop, rewind button, and you have individual buttons to activate and deactivate the different ports, the different microphone ports. So this is powered either by a USB cable that I have right here. So this is a proprietary cable, by the way. So you can see that this is a proprietary cable, or you can have it powered with 4 AA batteries like this. And one of my favorite features about this particular device is this one over here. So this can be mounted on a tripod. So, and that's something that I always do. I carry my tripod with me always, and when I'm talking to people, I just mount it on my tripod so that I don't have to like sort of hold it likewise and kind of make things awkward. So I just put it on my tripod so that it's less intrusive and we can have a more natural conversation over there. So that's kind of an overview of what I have. And again, packing this stuff is really easy. So if I have to go out and go out to an external environment and make sure that I have professional audio to be recorded, I just carry this box with me. I don't need anything else. I don't carry my laptop. I don't really carry my headphones or any of the other stuff. I don't carry my microphones and cables. All I need is this little black box over here, and that really does the trick. So that's kind of an overview of some of the audio gear that I have and some of the audio gear that you might need to produce professional quality audio at home. If you have any questions or any other points that you would like to discuss about any of these equipments, or if you have any questions on how to really post, produce and process some of the audio, you can post them under the comment section below, and I'll be glad to have a conversation with you. So thanks a lot for tuning into this edition of the Empathic Designer podcast. If you like what you heard, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and also hit the bell icon for getting those regular updates from my channel. Thank you and have a wonderful day.